Yeah.
Welcome back to the Gridiron Expert. Our second game of the week is another college football playoff elimination game, as number 3 Oregon heads to number 23 Utah in a major trap game for the Ducks. A loss for them, and Oregon is out of the college football playoff. A win, and they keep their playoff hopes alive, where they could end up beating Utah again in the Pac-12 championship game. So we are here to break down everything you need to know for this game in Salt Lake City Saturday night, and of course, share our official prediction whether or not the Ducks can survive a big trap game against the Utes. So again, guys, welcome back to the Gridiron Expert. Thank you so much for joining us today. As always, make sure to continue to like, comment, subscribe, and share our videos. And of course, check out everything down in the description below. So much exclusive content there for you guys. First off, go sign up using our promo code over on MyBookie. The promo code and the link for that are down in the description below. Use that there to receive that 100% sign-up bonus. They're going to double your first deposit there. And guys, it's a deal that you're not going to get anywhere else. So go take advantage of it over on MyBookie. Start making money this weekend on a game like this, on a game like Oregon or Ohio State and Michigan State, our first game of the week, on a lot of the NFL games, such as the Patriots and Falcons tonight. We have picks also for all those games over on our website, thegridironexpert.com. Go sign up for those expert picks, some of the best college football and NFL picks in the country for one of the lowest prices in the country. Use those and go apply it to MyBookie. Go apply it to BetNow, wherever it is. Everything down in the description is for you to use, and it's for you to make money. Help us help you. Go take advantage of it today. So we take a look at this game, guys. As we've been saying, it's a major trap game for Oregon. Utah actually slightly favored in this game. Oregon is the number 3 team in the country, but the Utes are actually favored in this game by about a field goal on most sites. And that shows something. That should tell you something. It should tell you how well this Utah team is playing after a very slow start. And it should also tell you how big home field advantage will be for the Utes on Saturday night. So we take a look at the offenses first, and we'll start with Oregon. And they're a team that all year long has been not really the flashiest team on offense. They haven't been the most electric team on offense, but they're balanced and they're efficient. Oregon is averaging 35.3 points per game. They've scored at least 24 points in every game. And the numbers are very balanced. 213.9 passing yards per game, 227.4 rushing yards per game. So again, the numbers look great, especially those rushing numbers are extremely impressive. But when you think of electric offense as some of the best in the country, Oregon is not up there for you. It's not up there for me. But they have Anthony Brown, a dual-threat quarterback who, as we've mentioned, has really thrived in Joe Moorhead's offensive system up in Oregon. He's thrown for 2,030 yards, 12 touchdowns, 4 interceptions. Obviously has contributed majorly on the ground as well. They also have Travis Dye, who has been great at running back, 908 yards, 12 touchdowns on the year, averaging 6 yards per carry. And Oregon, guys, as a whole, they're heating up. Their rushing offense is really heating up. I mean, listen to these numbers. 306 rushing yards versus Washington State last week. 329 rushing yards against Washington the week before. 256 rushing yards against Colorado. So Oregon is starting to really find their groove. And yes, all those games are against mediocre, if not bad, opponents. Utah is going to be much different, but to be racking up those type of numbers on the ground is very impressive. And obviously that's what Oregon wants to do. They want to run the ball. And they're doing it successfully. It's just whether or not they can keep it up against Utah. When you look at the Utes, their offense is rolling. They are getting hot. They're a major reason they're ranked right now. They've won, I believe, 4 straight games now. The Utes are averaging 35.7 points per game. They've scored at least 34 in each of their last 6 games, winning 5 of those 6. 223.6 passing yards per game, 214.5 rushing yards per game, so statistically very similar to Oregon there. But a major reason for Utah's rise offensively is their quarterback and Cam Rising. You know, he hasn't played the entire season, but when he has made the most of his time, throwing for over 1,700 yards, 14 touchdowns to just 2 interceptions. Factor in another dangerous running back like Oregon has in Tavian Thomas, who's rushed for 742 yards and 14 touchdowns, has 4 games with at least 100 yards. And Utah's offense, guys, can compete with anybody in the Pac-12. And obviously the main competitor is Oregon. I mean, the rushing numbers for Utah, like Oregon, continue to speak for themselves. This is a battle between two teams that specifically want to run the football first. Oregon wants to run first. Utah wants to run first. I mean, listen to this. 208 rushing yards against Arizona State for Utah. 188 versus Oregon State. 290 versus UCLA. 441 rushing yards versus Stanford for Utah. And if you remember, Oregon's lone loss of the season came to Stanford. Utah beat Stanford 52-7 with 441 rushing yards. That says something. Yes, I know a lot's changed since Oregon's lost to Stanford, vice versa, but it doesn't really matter. 52-7, 441 rushing yards. That is impressive. The big common opponent there in Utah owned that edge significantly. You look at the defense, guys. I would say that's a strength for both. Neither offense, again, is flashy, but we know both offenses want to run. But when you think of Oregon, when you think of Utah, you're probably going to think defense. And when you look at the Ducks, they've been playing well. 22.6 points per game is all they're allowing. 119.9 rushing yards per game, 248 passing yards per game. If I'm looking at Oregon from a weakness standpoint, I'm saying it's probably through the air. I'm saying it's their secondary that concerns me the most if I'm Oregon. That would be the biggest problem. And Cam Rising has been playing well enough that he can exploit that on Saturday. But I will say this, while Oregon, the numbers aren't the best defensively, they're not bad at all, but not the best, Oregon knows how to, one, create pressure, and two, force turnovers. And I think that's what I'm focusing on more here, is the fact that Oregon knows how to take the ball away. 14 interceptions in that secondary. So, sure, let up all the yards you want. We're probably going to pick you off in the end. We're probably going to get an interception or two in a game. 14 interceptions, 6 fumble recoveries. So that is 20 turnovers they have forced this season. And really the key for Oregon going into this game is just slowing down Cam Rising. If Oregon can make him stay in the pocket, deliver throw after throw after throw, create a little bit of pressure on him, Oregon's going to come away with at least a turnover, if not 2. And I believe Oregon's offense has what it takes to take advantage of that turnover and turn it into points. So they've got to force Utah to win the game through the air. And so far, from the fact they forced 14 interceptions, from the fact they've slowed down a couple other decent quarterbacks in the Pac-12, I have faith that they can do that. When you look at Utah, they're about the same again. This is a very even matchup on paper. The Utes are allowing 23.8 points per game, 207.7 passing yards per game. So that mark is better than Oregon's, but they are not better in the rushing aspect, as Utah allows 139.2 rushing yards per game. So a little worse there, but not horrible. Again, you want to look at a common opponent, the Stanford game. And again, that's not everything, but Oregon allowed 354 yards to Stanford in that loss. Utah held Stanford to 167 yards in that win. So again, there's a difference there, obviously. But one thing that Utah has going for them, Oregon defensively, they're forcing turnovers. 20 turnovers on the year. You know what Utah's doing is they are pressuring the heck out of you. Their defensive line, their front seven is ridiculous. 30 sacks on the year. 30 sacks on the year. So Utah's averaging about 3 sacks per game on the year, guys. And they have Micah Tafua, 7.5 sacks on the year. Devin Lloyd, 6 sacks on the year. So those two players are combined for 13.5 of the 30 sacks, nearly half. And that's going to be their key, is pressuring Oregon. If they can pressure Oregon, a team that's allowed 14 sacks on the year, which is not a bad mark through about 10 games, if they can pressure Oregon, if they can pressure Anthony Brown, Utah has a great chance of winning this game. Because while Anthony Brown has been efficient, he's still not a guy that I think can solely win a game through the air. Oregon's a team that's going to rely on the ground game, and they're going to rely on Anthony Brown to make plays on the ground with his legs. So if Utah can collapse the pocket, make sure he doesn't escape and run, force Anthony Brown to throw through the air, to win through the air, and maybe get a few sacks on him, tackles for loss on him as well, it could be a long day for this Oregon offense. It really could. That's how good Utah's front seven is. That's how good their pass rush is. And that's how reliant Oregon is on the run. If they can shut down Anthony Brown, I do have faith that Utah can slow down the Utah run game, such as Travis Dye. Really, the key is just shutting down Anthony Brown and taking him completely out of the equation, both as a thrower and as a runner. So what is going to happen in Salt Lake City on Saturday night? Again, the second game of the week that really no one is talking about. Again, if I see a top 10 team, a top 4 team especially at this point in the season as an underdog, you have to question that. And you have to say, hey, this might be a game worth watching because something's not right there, right? I will say this, what's going to happen. This is my prediction. A few years ago, Oregon was in the thick of the college football playoff hunt. If they had just won out, they would have gone. right? And they lost to Arizona State on the road. They lost to Arizona State on the road. This game feels very similar to that. Now, we know a few years ago that Utah was one Pac-12 championship win away from making the college football playoff. Oregon thumped them like 37-15 in that Pac-12 championship, kept the Utes out of the playoff. So there's some bad blood there, obviously, from the last time these two teams really went at it in that Pac-12 championship. Oregon has a little bit of PTSD, deja vu in their mind, thinking, hey, we can't afford to go on the road this point in the season, because that's when that Arizona State loss was, late in the season, on the road against a team that's good, but maybe not as good as us, and blow this game and ruin our playoff hopes. We can't allow that to happen. Problem is, I think it does happen. This game seems eerily similar to that Arizona State game, guys, and I think Oregon goes into Salt Lake City and loses to the Utes. So yes, even though they're favored, it's going to be an upset. I'm taking Utah in this game. The Utes right now, offensively, they could be the best offense that Oregon has seen since week 2 against Ohio State. Maybe you can make a case for UCLA, but I really think this is the best offense that Oregon has seen since Ohio State in week 2. And obviously the Buckeyes weren't even as good offensively then as they are now. But you look at Oregon, guys, close calls, escaping against California, escaping against UCLA, mediocre wins against Washington State. The Ducks are winning, but are they winning extremely convincingly? No. And now you go into a tough environment in Salt Lake City against a team that is hot right now, a team that is out for revenge from the last time they met, from a team that is looking to clinch the Pac-12 South and still looking to win a Pac-12 title. And I still think Utah has what it takes to beat the Ducks. I do. And I think we see some major chaos, not just in the Pac-12 on Saturday, but on the college football playoff and on the national stage, as Oregon will be eliminated from that discussion as Kyle Whittingham and his Utes get a close victory at home on Saturday night. So guys, as always, thank you so much for watching us here at the Gridiron Expert on YouTube. Make sure to continue to like, comment, subscribe, share our videos, and of course, check out everything down in the description below. Go sign up over on MyBookie using our promo code GridExpert. The link down there is in the description, so take a look. Go sign up today before all the games start this weekend. Go sign up using our expert picks, of course. Sign up for those before the games start this weekend so you can take advantage of them, hitting 65% of our bets over the last 3 weeks. We are on a roll. We are high. Go take advantage of it. It's one of the lowest prices in the country. So what are you waiting on? Go sign up today. It's a year-long subscription. You do not want to miss out on it. And once again, guys, as always, thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you next time right here on the Gridiron Expert.